The first awakened moved cautiously through the streets of the dream city, their steps echoing like tentative prayers. Some marveled at the architecture, tracing their fingers along spirals and fractals that had once seemed intangible, now solid beneath their touch. Others froze, staring at fragments of their dreaming lives that clung stubbornly to walls, statues and empty plazas. Layra walked beside Nerin, her eyes scanning for the subtle signs of unrest, the hesitation, the disbelief, the fear. The vessel had been patient, but patience alone could not shape the choices of those newly awake. Some will resist the waking, Nerin said, his voice low. Some will cling to what they knew. Centuries in the dream leave a mark deeper than frost or memory. They must choose to leave it, a small group clustered around a fountain that shimmered with the reflections of impossible worlds. One young man knelt, his hands pressed to the water's surface, eyes wide with recognition. I remember everything, he whispered. Not the dream, but fragments of it, and the world outside. It's all connected, Layra nodded. The dream was never meant to erase you. It only held you until you were ready. Now, you decide how it continues. Across the plaza, others debated. Some wanted to rebuild parts of the dreaming, to preserve fragments of the centuries that had passed. Others insisted the waking world, frosted rivers, thawing fields, empty streets, was what must be tended. Tensions flickered, subtle as shadows, between hope and fear. Nerin gestured to a low, arching structure that hummed faintly beneath the city. The vessel remembers every choice made within it. Every thread that awakens will shape the new world. Some will strengthen it. Some may unravel it. Layra felt the weight of their gaze on her. For the first time, she understood the scope of what she had done. By refusing the pods, by remaining awake, she had become a pivot point, a thread connecting the sleeping, the dreaming, and the waking. Layra, Nerin said softly, placing a hand on her shoulder. The first weavers, Mira and Kale, were guided by the system to awaken fully. Their choices set the foundation. You are the first outside their design. You are the anomaly who can unite waking and dreaming, guide those lost in between. Her pulse quickened. I can't do it alone. You won't, he replied. Look around. Even the hesitant, the frightened, the ones who doubt they are threads too. All of them will follow, in time, if we help them find the courage to step forward. The light from the hybrid loom pulsed between them, stretching like tendrils into the square, touching each newly awakened soul. It wove a subtle rhythm into their minds, a whisper that resonated with the faint memory of the dream. A young woman stepped forward, holding a fragment of glowing silk that trailed from one of the ancient weaver's cocoons. It's real, she said, eyes wide. The dream, the loom, it's all alive. Layra bent down, taking the silk gently. She felt the pulse beneath it, alive, receptive, listening. Yes, she said, voice steady, and now it can grow again. Not as it was, but as it should be. Nerin smiled faintly. A new dawn. Centuries in the dream prepared them, prepared us, for this moment. And now, the waking world can begin to weave itself into a new pattern. Layra lifted her gaze to the city skyline. The helix above shimmered softly, threads stretching outward like the first fingers of morning light. Somewhere deep below, the pods pulsed with awareness, synchronizing with the newly awakened. But this time, choice had entered the system. The vessel was no longer only a dream. It was becoming a bridge. And Layra, the anomaly who had never slept, stood at its center, ready to guide the first steps of a civilization that had been waiting centuries to awaken.